4 different schools. Dr. Reena has been the CBSE City Coordinator for evidence of assessments. At present, she is working as the founder principal of State MI Jaipuria School, Goel Campus, Lucknow. She is a CBSE resource person and active zone secretary of CBSE Sahodaya Schools at Lucknow. Mentoring students and teachers has been her forte for more than 3 decades. She is an authorized poet. Her maiden collection, Hilor, The Gems of My Soul, has been appreciated by young and old. She has a unique knack of playing with words and expressing it in poetry. She has received many awards at the state and national levels. She believes in the ideology that over to you, ma'am. Please share your insights with us.
Thank you, Misha. It's a proud moment indeed. Today, 2 of my students are here conducting the webinar. So I think that talks much for an educator itself. It's that this kind of a Guru Dakshina that we get from the students. This is the change that we are talking about today. That is adapting the integration of the curriculum with the technology is something which is much needed. And I believe if we break it up into an acronym, we say STEPS. So that is to create a supportive environment where there can be some personalized and differentiated instruction. That is the S. The T is it's a technology-driven world. So we need to provide the children the proper access so that the curriculum and technology can be integrated and a lot of learning can happen. And E is to enhance the motivation and the kind of enthusiasm in students to be more interactive and get into this magical world. P is to provide that particular access to the vast array of the resources. And S is to enhance the 21st century skills, the skills that we are talking about, which can be done only through technological advancements, because we're talking about design thinking, we're talking about problem solving, we're talking about innovation, but that can never happen unless there is an integration. Thank you, Misha.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words. And now I would like to introduce our second panelist for the day, Miss Monica Srivastav, coordinator at St. Anand Ram Jaipuria School, promoting the integration of STEAM across various subjects to encourage experiential learning and foster innovation, critical thinking, collaboration, and creativity. She had worked on innovative FLN curriculum for St. Anand Ram Jaipuria School, did action research under JIKC, and is now selected by CBSE as top 19 educators across India to perform action research learning from best practitioners. She's a Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert, Microsoft Certified Educator, and she holds the ACE, Adobe Certified Educators Badge. She has attained a position within the top 10 percentile in the International Teacher Olympiad organized by Surasa. Over to you, ma'am. Please share your experience with us.
Thank you, Ojas, for welcoming me and giving me such a nice introduction of mine. Thank you so much. If I talk about the topic regarding the technology enhancement and making sure that technology enhances learning without losing sight of key education goals. So firstly, I will suggest we should be clear that technology directly supports specific learning goals and outcomes. For example, if the goal is to improve reading comprehension, use digital tools that provide interactive reading experiences, quizzes, and assessments. If you want to encourage interactive engagement, critical thinking and problem solving should be a part of this. This can include online discussions, collaboration projects, simulations, and games that promotes hands-on learning. And the most important is balance technology with traditional methods, combining tech with hands-on, human interaction, and face-to-face instruction. This ensures a well-rounded learning experience and helps students develop essential social skills. Teach students to effectively use technology, critically evaluate sources, and maintain a healthy balance between tech and other aspects of life. This includes lessons on safety, cyberbullying, and media literacy. But please remember, technology is a tool to support learning, not the primary focus, right? So we cannot go on only watching videos and just following blindly the technology. We should be grounded with the rote method or old methods of learning as well, right? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words. And now I feel honored to introduce our esteemed resource person for the detailed session, Ms. Lakshmi Madhavan, Assistant Manager, Career Counselor, Coaching Directorate of Admissions and Academic Outreach, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, Coimbatore. Ms. Lakshmi is an experienced professional with a diverse background. Lakshmi comes with 8 years of experience in different fields. She has 4 years of dedicated teaching experience for computer science. She has conducted sessions for both teachers and students. She actively participates in discussions on various topics, demonstrating her passion for continuous learning and staying updated with the latest trends and developments. She has expertise in conducting training sessions for students preparing for competitive exams like LET, CAT, and JEE. She loves to take sessions to create awareness among students about different competitive examinations available and how they can effectively prepare for that.
So thank you, Priyanka, for the wonderful introduction. And I'm really happy to be here because it's a vital topic, like how we are going to adapt the technology into the classroom. We are in a situation like in the 21st century classroom where our kids are equipped with a lot of things, and we as teachers have to navigate them or to give them idea on which technology to use, how they have to use. And I would say it's not an option, but the situation has reached that it has to be a part of curriculum. It's a necessity because they are growing in the digital age, and we have to equip them with the necessary skills. We have to tell them the responsibilities that they have to keep when it comes to using this technology and all. So I'm really happy to be a part of the discussion and looking forward to it.
Thank you, ma'am, for this insightful session. Now, let's move on to the question round. And to break the ice, I would like to ask the first question to Miss Lakshmi, ma'am. Ma'am, how do you make sure that technology enhances learning without losing sight of key educational goals?
Or just
Yes,
stop.
ma'am.
No, yes, I think,
I'm so sorry, Lakshmi ma'am.
yes.
Please start with the session, ma'am. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no. I thought like something was there. Okay, completely fine. So just, can you just repeat the question for me?
Sure, ma'am. Ma'am, I'd like to ask, how do you make sure that technology enhances learning without losing sight of key educational goals?
Okay. So when it comes to integrating technology, or I would say technology plays a huge role because it's going to provide us information in just 1 second, in just a little bit of time. So that's why it has become, and it's providing a lot of other things also. That's the reason it has become a part of our curriculum, or there are a lot of tools, a lot of technical tools that we could use. It's going to provide you students an enriching learning experience along with the aim of attaining the educational goals or the learning objectives. So it's going to create meaningful learning experiences to the students. We could use a lot of virtual platforms. We could use a lot of tools so that maybe sometimes it can create or it can help my students to be more interactive. It can help me as a faculty to make my students more interactive, to use a different style of teaching. It can help me to address something like more of an I'll be able to get an idea of something called the individual's learning style. So sometimes technology is helping in me in that setup also. But there is a huge misconception. I used to take sessions related to use of technology in teaching and learning, mostly for the faculties. So whenever I take some sessions, I have always those faculties with 20 plus or 30 plus years of experience. I have heard something like it could be a threat to the ethics of education. I have heard the statements from some teachers. So it's like most of them are afraid that if there is a no limit that's not set, or if there is a restriction that is not set from the teacher side, we don't know what our children are going to do with the technology. So what our role is to make use of the proper technology, helping them understand something about the literacy skills, the information, the media, or the technology literacy, how to use this, where they have to keep a restriction. That's what the basic idea we should focus on. That would be my answer to the very basic question.
Wow, that
Yeah.
was a very insightful discussion. Now, I would like to ask the next question to our panelists, Ms.
I
Monica
think
Srivastava.
just a second, Priyanka. I think we'll just ask the same question to Reena ma'am and Monica ma'am also, and we'll get insights from them. So yes, Reena ma'am.
Ojas, could you please repeat the question, please?
Sure, ma'am, I would do so. Ma'am, I asked ma'am that how do you make sure that technology enhances learning without losing sight of key educational goals?
Uh, that is actually, ma'am has already said about it, that first and foremost is the professional development of the teachers. We must empower our educators in the sense that they are going in the correct direction, because technology is a vast reservoir. Like we cannot pick and choose in that. We have to be very specific as to what and how much has to be integrated in the curriculum. And because of the pandemic, like some of the portions have been a boon, like students have become very technologically friendly, and they have become advanced in skills, maybe to levels where some of the educators also have not reached. So that kind of, a risk is also there. So first and foremost, I believe, is the education of the educators, so that the people under their care, that is the students, they are driven in the correct direction. Then most importantly, I teach English. So I believe like technology can be used because through a Padlet, like if we talk of Canva and Padlet, the edutech tools that we are using, through a Padlet, if a mind map is drawn out for a poem or for a prose piece, the learning becomes, it becomes very, very diverse, because then children get access to information which they would have searched otherwise. On one platform, they get a mind map, and through that, the learning becomes easier and the content also gets, channelized. Then you were talking that you were very, and I also know about it, you're very fond of quizzing. So the AI quizzing can be created, the content can be managed through AI. And we also have the lab in our school for design thinking and innovation, which is by Aerobe. But that all those things, if we see, and if it is integrated with the syllabus of not only the skill subjects, but also the core subjects, there is lot of, magical learning that's happening. So we're talking about learning of assessment, and here it is learning for assessment. So there's a difference there. So all these, if they are taken as a whole, the results are going to be really, really great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think we'll just get the opinions from Monica ma'am also regarding how we can make sure that the technology enhances learning without losing the sight of the key educational goals.
Thank you, Lakshmi ma'am. I very much agree with you and Reena ma'am that we should train teachers and equip our teachers with the technology so that they can be balanced between the things. So balancing technology with traditional method is very important. Only going behind the technology and not thinking about the traditional methods, it is not mindful, I think so. And simultaneously, we should teach students also how to use technology effectively and make balance between tech and other aspects of life. This also includes lessons on, I told you earlier also, online safety, cyberbullying, and media literacy. The children or the students should also get the sessions on this, how to use media and the technology in their lives. Because these days we can see so many children are using these things without any guidance, and they are assessing the things that are not for them. So I told you, technology is a tool to support learning, not the primary focus for you, right? To ensure that technology enhances learning without losing sight of key educational goals, so it is essential to align technological tools with clear objectives, using them purposefully or to support critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, and all the 21st century skills. Balancing digital methods with traditional teaching ensures that technology complements rather than replace vital educational practices. Continuous professional development for educators is crucial so that they can effectively integrate technology while maintaining a focus on pedagogy. Additionally, fostering digital literacy and ethical use among students while ensuring accessibility and inclusivity helps create an environment where technology truly enhances learning for all. So without compromising the core values and goals of education.
Wow, that was some discussion. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am. Now let us start with the discussion and the presentation. I would ask Lakshmi ma'am to take over.
So yes, thank you so much. So I think after the ice-breaking round, after this question, I think the next question is to uh, Modika ma'am. So the question is like, why is it important to adapt curriculum to the technological advancements? Do we actually need to change our curriculum according to the technological advancements that's happening?
Please repeat once again.
Why is it, I hope I'm audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah, okay. Why is it important to adapt curriculum to the technological advancements? Do we actually need to make changes in our curriculum based on the new technologies that are coming up? Do we actually need to do that?
Yes, it is important. As we know, it is adaptability that allows for species to evolve and survive, right? So the world around us is changing at a rapid pace, and that is driven by technological innovations that are redefining how we live, work, and learn. In this dynamic environment, the question before us is not whether we should adapt our education system to these changes, but rather how we can do so effectively and with purpose. This has significant value as we think about the 21st century skills students need to be successful in work and life as well. Education has always been the cornerstone of progress. It is through education that we equip the next generation with the knowledge, skills, and values that they need to thrive. However, traditional models of education, while effective in the past, most evolved to meet the demands of a rapid advancing world. If we talk about the today's scenario, technology is more than just a tool. It is an integral part of our daily lives, from artificial intelligence, as you know, ChatGPT and Meta AI now available, to virtual reality. From online learning platforms to data analysis, technological advancements are transforming the way we assess the process information. They are reshaping the skills required in the workforce and opening up new possibilities for innovation and creativity. In this context, our curriculum must reflect these changes also. We must ensure that our students are not only familiar with the latest technologies, but are also capable of leveraging them to solve real-world problems. We must foster a culture of continuous learning, where students are encouraged to think critically, adapt to new challenges, and embrace the opportunities that technology presents. For adapting curriculum to technological advancement is crucial because it prepares students for the modern workforce. Incorporating skills like coding, data analysis, and digital marketing to prepare students for in-demand jobs. For instance, integrating programming languages like Python and or JavaScript into math and science classes. Use of interactive tools, simulations, and games to increase students' interest and motivation. For example, utilizing virtual labs for science experiments, permitting students to conduct investigations remotely, etc. If we talk about teaching critical thinking, online safety, and media literacy to empower students in the digital age is equally crucial. So I can incorporate lessons on evaluating online sources, identifying bias, and creating digital content. If students are if I want to encourage students to develop innovative solutions using technology, I will integrate design thinking and prototype tools like 3D printing to promote creative problem solving. So there are so many tools are available these days which can resolve our problems related to PBL and other hands-on activities and other hands-on projects we are getting in the school. But the important part is how we are using it and how much we need to depend on that technology and the information available, and how much we have to use our brains and to work on that areas. So we live in an era where technology is not merely necessary to our lives, but a driving force behind progress and innovation. The rapid pace at which technology evolves has transformed industries, economies, and societies in ways we couldn't have thought of a few decades ago. If we talk about before Corona, we hardly use these softwares like Zoom and Google Meets and various other and number of tools are there we are using nowadays. And before Corona, I was talking about decades, but before Corona, hardly we were using any tool in the classroom except AV. But nowadays we are so pro with the quizzes, Padlet as ma'am said, and number of tools are there we are using in our education and we are using in our daily life as well. Suppose if teachers are giving you an essay to write, and we are just going on Meta AI or using Chat GPT. So it is good to use that. We can go on that. But how much we have to depend on that if we are not using our brain and we are totally depending on technology? Is it right? So we should learn to make balance between both the things. Education as the foundation of our future must not only keep pace with these changes, but also anticipate and prepares for the future that lies ahead. Thank you.
So yes, I think Monica ma'am has covered all the aspects of it, how using coding, regarding how to use certain technologies for inculcating the skills. It's often said that we are just, we have to have something called a future-proofing curriculum. Because whenever there are sessions, we as teachers used to tell students that we are preparing you for a future that we are also not sure of. The jobs that we also don't know what type of jobs you'll be doing, because that's how technology is going to make changes. That's how the trend is like. So it's really important that we teach our students the skills like adaptability, the skill like something like learning, unlearning, how they could, it's like we have to impart something called the concept of lifelong learning, because they always maybe have to alter the jobs, take a new job, take an entirely different career path. So it's very important that we inculcate some characters like adaptability, learning, unlearning, etc. in our kids. So thank you so much, ma'am, for the detailed information. Now I think the next question is to Reena ma'am. How, as Monica ma'am has discussed about the different tools and all, we just want to get your opinion on how can these emerging technologies be effectively integrated into our curriculum? What can we do, or what's the process, or based on your experience, we would like to hear from you, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. First and foremost, we should identify the relevant, and the meaningful applications that can be integrated. So for that, because when my bio was read, Misha said I play with words. So I usually make acronyms and, try to remember them. That is our duty. Like, we should remember what we have to do. So I say that anything we start with ABCD. So I say this particular application, I've named it as I am ABCD. So I is the IoT, that is the Internet of Things. A is the augmented reality. M is the machine learning. Then A is the AI. B is the blockchain, C is the cybersecurity, and D is the data analytics. So if we are going to, go through this process, we would know, because if we talk about blockchain, the CBSE papers are being shared, and it's like so secure now. To schools, those papers are coming, and the kind of sharing that is done is there is no threat, there's no risk. So the same ways, like we would first and foremost have to identify these particular areas. So we just spoke about this. Second is, which I spoke in my previous, is we must educate the educators. The empowering of the educators is must. Then only this application or this technology advancement can be integrated. Then we should have our learning objectives and outcomes designed. Learning objectives of every school, every student is different. We are talking about differentiated instruction. We are talking about inclusive education. We are talking about very, very many big words. But are we actually being able to do them? With the emerging technology advancements, we should be applying them in these particular areas. Like if we talk about the Inspire Awards also, when we say the Inspire Awards are declared to the schools, the students come up with science projects. But actually, it should be a problem which is to be resolved. They should cite a problem, and it can be a normal problem, like I was seeing through the Inspire Awards on the different channels, and I saw that there was a child, we're talking about a fracture, and the person was, advised physiotherapy, and his hand was all straight. So he had created a device, and he was very old, so he couldn't go for that regular physiotherapy sessions. Neither did he have the money of calling the physiotherapist at home. So he created, through artificial, intelligence and through design thinking innovation, he created a device by which, it was moving his hand, year and year, a clamp was made, and his hand automatically at a command would move this way. So that was the way he could exercise. So these are the things we are wanting in our kids. And so we should be able to educate our educators, and then they should be giving the correct direction to the students. And most important, the hands-on experience, the experimentation, the iteration, and the continuous improvement. The continuous improvement can be assessed, like the SAFL testing that CBSE is also doing. It's a very unique system. We can assess the areas of improvement of our kids. If we just assess a previous year's plan of the child, we know that what would be in class 10, supposing we see that, we know that which stream he or she would be going into, because we are seeing a planned kind of a way by which we have integrated the technology. So I believe these would be the criteria for this kind of decision. Thank you.
So thank you, ma'am. So it's not going to be an easy process. It's going to be a long process, which will take more time, the thorough planning, the execution, and it should align with what our goals we are having, what are we want to, I would say, impart to the students, which area we want to use the technology. It's going to be a long process. Understanding the objectives, setting up the goals, finding out the right technology for the right subject, then starting with a small model, just trying to implement it in a small scale, collecting the feedbacks from the students, the parents, and then it's like we're just going to implement it in the whole school. It's going to be a long process, but still this is going to make a huge change, I think, how we are going to integrate the technology, how we are going to use it so that it's going to benefit our students. And mostly, I think, after 3 or 4 years, the assessment and evaluation part that we most of us do, it's going to, actually, it's just huge time of ours. We are just correcting everything. So now I think some of the schools have started using assessment and evaluation tools of AI. And basically, being from the university, we have introduced a branch called Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. A lot of students are already passed out from our university. but they have a methodology where it's completely project-based evaluation. There are no pen and paper examinations. There is no writing, nothing. It's always building up projects. It's a BTech degree, but still it's completely based on project-based evaluation, what they are doing. There is no pen and paper evaluation or assessment. So maybe after 5 or 6 years, we'll also see that in our schools. Everything has changed and we have more time to interact with the kid, understand what they want and all of that. So thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful answer and your opinion. And I think I would like to discuss with the teachers here. If there are any queries from your side, you can type that in the chat box and we'll try to collect opinions from Monica ma'am and also Reena ma'am. And if there are any further queries that our moderators, Ojas and Priyanka are having, I would request them to just discuss that also.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to ask one more question.
Yes.
I'd ask this question to you itself.
Okay.
So, ma'am, I'd like to ask what challenges might educators face when adapting to technological changes, because it will be a man-made task for them as well.
Okay. The challenges when it comes to integrating the technology. So the first thing is I have to be ready to accept that this is also something that's going to help me. This is a tool that is going to help me. And maybe I, as a teacher, should start accepting it and I have to start working with the technology. I have to say yes to it. And the second one, what I feel most schools or most of the teachers are afraid of is like they have a, I would say they're not that much confident that whether this is the thing that's going to work, this software is going to work, or whether I can use this tool in my class. So most of the teachers are not much skilled. Even all of us are skilled in some areas, but we might not be skillful in all the areas and all the technologies because it's completely new to us also. So as Reena ma'am said, we have to give them certain set of trainings and one thing. Then coming from a university background, when it comes to integrating technology, what I have felt is after 3 years or 2 years, as a university, we'll start working on our curriculum. Whether we have to remove completely a subject from one particular department, whether it's electrical or electronics, whether we have to add a new subject to the curriculum, whether we have to add a new paper, we always have that industry connects and collaborations. And whenever we update our curriculum, we always used to talk with the industry people and what is happening in the industry. Based on that only we'll be upgrading the curriculum. So this is something that I think schools might miss, because we are preparing the students to the market or we are preparing the students to be in the industry. So that is something which we have to work on about the collaboration. Another important factor I feel is like about the security and the privacy concerns. How much ever we are saying, we should clearly set the boundaries for our students. We should clearly set the restrictions for our students, and then only, as well as the teachers should teach this. Yeah, this is how you have to use this platform. Because I know a lot of teachers are now feeling bad that because of this ChatGPT, the assignments that I'm correcting is completely the copy paste that's coming from there. I know a lot of teachers are really feeling bad about it, even though it's a tool that we are using in preparing the lesson planning or preparing the curriculum or something. This is something that stresses. So we have to make the students understand that this is just a tool. It's not about copying things that you're seeing in random pages or something, or copying things that the ChatGPT is giving. You have to use your own creativity. It is a research material. We have to ask students to consider it as a research material, and we have to ask them, or we have to encourage them to search, but we have to ask them to consider that as a research material, to read things of their own and then come up with the solutions or the answers.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the answers.
Yes, I think Rama ma'am has mentioned in the chat box that educators need to be perfectly trained with the technology in every school. Yes, and it's obviously not a thing that everybody should use technology. Every teacher should have the basic idea, but if she is feeling like this is the technology that is rightly needed for my kid, she can use that. It's not like every subject, every session has to be have something to related to technology. It is completely not like that. Whenever you feel this is something that is going to help your kids, whenever you're teaching something related to the structures and all, you want some, I would say, atmosphere to be created, you can go for something like AR or VR. That's going to help you. It should not be used in every class and all. So yes, I think, I hope I was able to answer the question. And, yes, okay. There is one more question in the chat box. Using AI, how to create worksheets for kindergarten students? Maybe images and pictures. DALI is a platform where you can create a lot of images, Max and AI tools. I think I'll share the link in the chat box. And do you have any further questions, moderators?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much for clearing all our doubts.
So I would like to collect opinions from Reena ma'am and Monica ma'am also.
I want to add one.
Ojas's
Yes.
question. Sorry, Monica ma'am, you please.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I want to add one more tool for creating worksheets for kindergarten. That is live worksheets. If you go on that, you can create so many worksheets on that platform. And along with that, quizzes are there. So you can use that also.
Ma'am, if possible, I think you can share the link in the chat box so that,
Sure.
if possible.
Yeah, ma'am, to Ojas's question, like,
Yes,
what are the challenges? I would like to add, there's a lot of resistance sometimes
yes.
to the change. And they even lack the technical expertise sometimes. So they, especially the traditional teachers, like we saw it in the pandemic that they were shunning such duties, and they did take it up slowly and steadily. Then there are a question of limited resources and not having the proper infrastructure. Also, like some of the schools that we are into the CBSE trainings and other things. So we do see schools, that do not have the proper infrastructure for these technological advancements. Then the third problem is balancing that technology integration with the traditional mode of teaching. That balance you should know. In a 40-minute period, you should know how to balance and how much of technology to be incorporated and how much of the kind of core subject knowledge to be delivered. And then most importantly, I'm very close to we talk about inclusive education. So we must ensure that equity and that access to all students. It should not be reserved for only some. It should be given, and even in the rural areas, if possible, this kind of an advancement should be reached out to, because unless this is an equal platform, we cannot talk about the real education happening with our students.
I think I'll just add one more thing here, because most of the teachers are feeling like if every student in my class is having an equipment, then only I'll be able to integrate technology. There is a feeling like that. Yeah. Everybody should have a device, then only I'll be able to, it's like use technology. It is completely not like that. I'll never say if there is a system in the class, it's like you can show the things to them, what's happening, how you can use it. Or even I would say there are platforms where teachers can integrate your curriculum completely into it. You can give the assignments to them. So each student with their own pace, they can write the assignment, and I as a teacher, I can just understand where the student has reached, whether he has completed the 7th chapter, what is the status. And we don't have to restrict ourselves from using it. It's always like we have to start trying things. Even if it goes wrong, it's completely fine. We'll pick from there and we'll start again. We used to say this to our kids. The same thing applies for us also, and we have to start using the technology. And yes, I think I would like to hear from Monica ma'am also. Yes, Rama ma'am is already typed. Traditional teachers are not ready to accept and adapt. There is always a fear in their mind that whether we will not be able to set a limit for the students. That's why most of the time they are showing a hesitation towards using all these new tools. And maybe also a fear that whether there will be any issue that will happen, whether they are not able to understand everything that's there with the technology, whether they'll be able to follow it. That's what the fear that prevents most of the teachers in accepting it. Even if it goes wrong also, it's completely fine. We can pick from there and we can use. So yes,
Yes, Lakshmi ma'am, I
yes.
agree with you that the major problem is resistance to change, because the old generation is very resistant with the changes. They don't accept the things and they want to live in their comfort zones. I think so. And a few handful of teachers are there, those who are walking or those who are working along with the changes. But I told you initially that adaptability is a key to survive and evolve, right? So balancing technology with traditional teaching methods is very important. And secondly, if you're not ready to learn new things, teachers, then it will create conditions where you will find yourself lag behind or drop out type of things, and the new generation will uh, definitely overpower you and try to dominate you in future. I guess so. So you should be ready to learn and accept the changes and use as much as you can the new things, new apps, and please keep on exploring and evolving technologies. I think that's it.
Yeah. So one more thing I would like to add is if it's like I know you'll have a group of people of your one particular subject, there'll be a lot of groups and everything for one mathematics or one particular location or something. So you as a collaborative effort, you can start working on it. Something like how the transformation has to happen. So it is something like somebody has to take the initiative, somebody has to start using it, somebody has to start using it in the classes, and you can seek the support from the other people or even the trainers. If something goes wrong also, you can get this trainers. So yes, I think I'd like to hear the final thoughts from all the panelists, and if there is anything that the participants has to share, I would request that also.
So
And I'm
Lakshmi
really
ma'am,
happy. Yes, ma'am.
I'm totally agree with you that we should learn from each other instead of hunting here and there blindly. It's better to learn from each other. You have a group of teachers, so that you can collaborate with them and you can learn from each other, so that you can get helping hand and you will get right direction where to go and what to do with the technology.
Ma'am, like we have the AI facilitator community, a student community. In that, there's a lot of sharing. So through that also, lots of innovative ideas. Like if you get added to that community, you get lots of ideas which maybe you did not even dream of or imagine.
So yes, I think we have reached to the towards the end of today's discussion. I hope this was really enriching. And I know it's quite challenging. It's really tough for each and every educator to come out of the shell that we are and to be ready to use the technologies, because it's like I have started using a technology within a span of 1.5 years, that's completely gone. Because that's how the world is changing. It's so fast that all the updations are happening in one go, and I have to start with something else. So as educators, as teachers, we have changed. Earlier, it was like, I'm just teaching my subject, I'm just doing the evaluation, certain things, helping the kids with their skills and everything. That was my role. Then we have changed to a mentor when it was needed. Our role has changed to a mentor. We are just instructing them, helping them to understand the things. Now we have to change our role to somebody who is helping the students with new technology, helping the students to use different online resources, tools, which is going to help them attain certain new types of knowledge to be skillful and all. So as teachers, I'm always saying that our responsibility, our role is increasing. We have to be curriculum designers also at this point of time, because we have to decide on what has to be used, which technology to be used, and whether I have to follow the same old type of evaluation methods, or do I have to use something like quizzes or something that is easily available. I have the material, I have to just copy paste on the platform. The platform will create quizzes for me. Can I use that so that I can evaluate my kids? I can help the kids. So there are a lot of questions. So I hope we'll be able to keep up with the technological changes that's happening, and we all are able to use different technologies in our classrooms. And yes, thank you so much, everyone. I hope the session was insightful. I would like to collect opinions from you. And thank you, especially to the student moderators. I am also really happy. It's always good to be with kids, and they have a certain another set of energy. So when they are around, we are like really active, and we'll come out of something that we are thinking. So thank you to the student moderators, Ojas and Priyanka. And I'm really happy that I was able to share the screen with Anita ma'am and also Monica ma'am. Sarina ma'am and Monica ma'am, sorry. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope the session was useful. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice evening.
And you
Thank
chose a
ma'am. Thank you
great
so
day
much.
for such a topic. You chose a
Yes.
great day. This was the day the Mangalyaan 2014, 10th August, it was launched. And I think if these changes don't happen, we are all static then. We
Yes,
need to be
it's a very
dynamic, adapt, change, adopt it, and it should be in our system. Thank you so much to Amrita Vidyapeetham and Edudevs for this opportunity. Thank
and
you.
today we missed the main person here also, Devyani ma'am. So thanks to her also.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice evening. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi
Thank
ma'am,
you.
Reena
Thank
ma'am, and Monica ma'am for being a part of today's session. And thank you for taking out your time and for such an insightful session. I'm thankful.
Thank you.
And I have a announcement for all the participants. We are thrilled to announce an exceptional opportunity for schools in Faridabad. Our organization is offering a complimentary career counseling session inclusive of free aptitude and psychometric tests valued at rupees 5,000 per student for classes 10th and 12th grade students. This enriching session comes at no cost to your school, and we invite you to secure your slot before availability runs out. For inquiries or additional information, please feel free to contact us. I will be sharing the phone number and email in the chat box. And we will be sharing a link in the chat for you to complete the brief form, and our dedicated Edudevs team will promptly connect with you to finalize the arrangements. Thank you, and we look forward to collaborating with you. Thank you, Team Edudevs.
Thank you, everyone.
I request all the participants to please fill in the feedback form and the attendance link mentioned in the chat box, and you will receive the certificates in your mailbox. Thank you. The feedback link has been submitted in the chat box. Please fill the form to get your certificates. Thank you. Participants, you will receive the certificate only if you fill in the feedback form. If you have submitted the feedback form, you will receive the certificate. Thank you.